Is Aaron Delwiche. I'm an associate professor in the Department of Communication here at Trinity University. I teach several classes on new media, web design, game design, and criticism. And I also grew up in the Silicon Valley when the Apple computer was released. I grew up in Sunnyvale, California, originally, and then moved to Cupertino, and I actually lived a few blocks away from the very first computer store that was selling Apple computers. It was maintained by Steve Wozniak's brother, Mark Wozniak. And it was fascinating to see things changing in the Silicon Valley. The thing is, today we sort of take for granted everything that's happened with these emerging technologies. But it's really recent when these things have changed. And there are 3 books that everyone should read who's interested in these topics. The best way to understand the influence of the personal computer and the influence of technology in our lives. And the first one is this book, Computer Lib by Ted Nelson from 1974. And on the flip side, it's Dream Machines. And this is one of the books that inspired Steve Jobs actually to create the Apple computer. It's an excellent attack on technocracy and an explanation of why people should have access to computers. The second book is this one. It's by John Markoff. It's called What the Dormouse Said. And it's a look at the role of the underground New Left student movement in the birth of personal computers. And it has a chapter on Steve Jobs that talks about how Steve Jobs was creating these machines for a reason. He wanted to change the world. It was about making money, creating a new company, but it was also about changing things and redistributing power in a really big way. And then the third book is the biography of Steve Jobs, written by Walter Isaacson, who will be speaking here, and everybody should go to see him. So why should you go see Walter Isaacson? Why should you be interested in what he has to say? First of all, as a biographer, he picks really interesting subjects. He writes about people like Benjamin Franklin, Albert Einstein, Steve Jobs. And secondly, he's an excellent biographer. And what I mean by that is that there are different types of biographers out there. You get the puff piece biographers who write about politicians and put them on a pedestal as a great man or woman, and there are no negative facts at all. And then you get the hit pieces, you know, the trash celebrities and talk about all the dirt. It's unsubstantiated and, again, very biased and unhelpful. And then sometimes you'll find in the library, in like unused corners of the bookcase, these biographies that are super well documented, extensively detailed, but they don't really put any of the facts together, and they're really boring. Finally, the fourth type of biography is the best kind. It's very rare. It's the biography such as those that Walter Isaacson writes. The biography that looks at the person as a human being, that looks at their strengths as well as their weaknesses, that doesn't put them on a pedestal, but it acknowledges what they accomplished. And perhaps most important, the biographer who tells a story, who's not afraid to introduce themselves into that story, but is also very clear about how their own assumptions affect the story that they're telling. This is a great opportunity for Trinity students. I encourage everyone to go see Walter Isaacson.